Hi, I'm Gwen, the artist behind the Vtuber, the Etsy store, where I create both custom and pre-made Vtuber models and other digital products. Today I'm super excited to show you my newest release, a full-body customizable Vtuber model which you can see I'm using right now. This tutorial is for anyone who has purchased the model and needs help setting it up, or for those who just want to see all the customization options before buying. You will also find a link in the Etsy listing description to a detailed 30-page guide with the step-by-step instructions and pictures. Since it's pretty long, I don't expect anyone to read it, and that's why I created this video, which is pretty much a visual version of the guide. Before we dive in, I just want to quickly go over the rules for using this model. If you're considering purchasing, please watch this part so you know what is allowed and what isn't. Please do not share any files, don't trace the model, and don't redistribute it in any way. When you buy it, it's for your personal use only. However, you are welcome to use the model for creating monetized content as long as you do not sell the model itself and the content does not involve machine learning or similar uses. Crediting me as the model creator is highly appreciated, but it's not required. If you want to credit me, please use my name or any of the social links shown on the screen. Please do not claim this model as your own artwork, even if you customize it. If you ever see this model being sold anywhere other than my Etsy shop, or maybe possibly vegan in the future, please let me know so I can handle the resellers. And if you decide to create or share custom textures, please only do that for free. And that's pretty much it for the main rules. Thank you for listening to my initial yapping session, and now let's go and let's see how to download the model and how to set it up in VTube Studio. After buying the model, you will receive a PDF file. Etsy has file size limitations, so the actual model files are stored on Google Drive. The PDF contains a link to that Google Drive folder. Open the PDF file and copy the Google Drive link into your browser. Once you're in the Google Drive folder, you can either find a download button or you can just click download all. You can also open the folder and see all the files that the model has. And you can also click the download all button from here. Once you click the download all button, it will zip the file and it will download in your computer. Now open VTube Studio and double click anywhere to open the menu. Choose the first button, the Change VTS model, and click on the first icon, Import your own model. And when you click Open Folder, it will open the folder in your computer where your models are stored. Now find the folder that you downloaded from Google Drive and copy-paste it into your VTube Studio folder. You will have to unzip the folder. Now I can see that the name is kind of not as it's supposed to be. The folder name needs to end with the VTS. So if you have a similar problem, please rename it. Now back in VTube Studio, you can either close and open the app, or you can double click several times to open and close the menu, which will update your models. And now when you double click and open the Change VTS model, you should be able to find the model you downloaded. This is what the model looks like when you open it for the first time. If you haven't set up tracking yet, now is the time. The setup depends on your device, so I won't go into detail here, but there are plenty YouTube tutorials for that. You can use a webcam or a smartphone. For example, I'm using an iPhone with the VTube Studio app connected to my PC via cable. The model starts moving once I connect my phone. Once the model is moving, we can start customizing it. Go to Settings and Hotkey Settings and Expressions. Your new custom design is going to be saved as a new expression, so click Expression Editor and create new expression. This will take you to the Expression Editor screen. On the right, you can see a list of all parameter sliders that you can use. Please only use the ones with stars or heart. Let's name our expression first. I will simply name it Design. Now I will explain the sliders a little bit. Sliders with a star shape change the design options. Please adjust these manually and make sure that this number stays whole. Okay, so either 1 or 2. But if you had any decimals in there, the program will be confused which option you want. On the other hand, the sliders with the heart control the color options. There are usually 2 per feature. One of them changes the hue, which is like the color itself, and the other one changes saturation, which is how light or dark the color looks. Please note that some parts of the model, like eyes, the iris of the eye, the socks, and the plant hoge, need to be recolored manually later. I will show you how to do that too. For now, let's explore all the design options this model offers. I will mute myself now and I will go through all the options, and then we will create the final design. When it comes to makeup, you can of course combine different types of makeup, like you can have both an eyeliner and eyeshadow and lipstick at the same time. When it comes to skin color changing, it's a little more complicated. For skin color, I have 3 sliders: the hue, saturation, and the last one makes the color more muted. If you wanted to have, let's say, a tan, then it's possible to do with sliders. I would maybe do something like this. But sadly, when it comes to recoloring, life today has some obstacles. So if you want to have a darker skin tone, you might find out that if you use the sliders, then it starts creating these like weird outlines where the meshes are overlapping, and that's not nice. So I highly recommend you to use a custom recolor, which I will show how to do later if you want to have a darker skin hue. When it comes to hair color, there are 2 types of color sliders. One that changes the entire hair and eyebrows, and side hair, which is separate. Now, you can of course create even more complex hair colors with a custom recolor, which I will show how to do later. But for the basic recolors, you can use these sliders just fine. For now, I will choose something maybe in the pink hues, maybe something like this, and I will show you all the hair options with this recolor. Hair extensions are pretty much a second layer of the side hair. I think they're useful especially if you have ears, because they help to cover this kind of like face gap here. For now I will choose the number 6 and I will keep it there so you can see how it works with other hair. Now, because of the recoloring with sliders, the hair is in one color, but if you do a custom recolor, then you can choose the color of each hair strand. When it comes to ponytails or pretty much any other hair options, you can combine all of them together. I don't think that you will want to combine long ponytails with anything else, but I will show you that, for example, in mid ponytails. I can imagine that this could look pretty good with some back hair. Maybe this one. Or this one. So you can combine these options and make your own hairstyles. Now let's check out the ears and horns options. I will get rid of the front hair for you so you can see it better. When it comes to humanoid ears, you can notice that it disappears behind the face at some angle. If it bothers you, then I highly recommend having some side hair and maybe hair extensions, because it helps to hide the awkward change. You can change the color of the horns with sliders. Animal ears are rigged in a way that when you close eyes, they move a little bit. I think it's best visible on the cat ears. And the mermaid ears are a little translucent, so just keep that in mind. There are 4 sliders to recolor the animal ears. When it comes to clothes, I have a bit of a different system here than in my previous changeable models. The top part only changes the part around your chest, the clothes base changes the part around your torso or belly, and I also recommend using shoulder straps to connect the sleeves to some of the clothes variants. This option might seem the same as the first one, but it's much longer. So for example, if I choose to wear this skirt, then the first option would be cropped and the last option is not. Most of the options can be mixed and matched together just fine, but sometimes you need to choose some option to fit the other options you have. But there's also a layerable t-shirt option. For some options, I recommend using shoulder straps. Please note the shoulder straps are the only exception. It's kind of my fault, but it would be a little too complicated now to change it. So if you want the normal shoulder straps, then please use 1.5 instead of 1. Okay, so 1.5 or number 2. That's the only difference in all the other options when it comes to numbers. The shoulder straps oftentimes can help tie the top to the sleeves. For example, if I'm not using the layerable t-shirt, then you can see that without the shoulder straps it looks really awkward. But if you use the shoulder straps, then it kind of ties it all together and it looks much better. If you have an option where the shoulder straps make no sense, then I highly recommend you to turn them off. Another way you can make your outfit interesting is with colors. If you want to use a color, I recommend you to use the right top for it. Yeah, for example, in this case, I would use the top number 10. Now I will show you all the colors and the intended top combinations, but of course feel free to experiment around with it. For some of the options you can also use a hot window, which will add like a cutout. You can either recolor the clothes using sliders, or you can do a custom recolor, which I will show you how to do later. Once again, because the Live 2D has a bit of a problem with recoloring with darker colors, if you start seeing this kind of awkward line, then I recommend you to do a custom recolor, because when using custom recolor this doesn't happen. And sadly there's nothing I can do about that to make this slider experience better. There is also a bikini option, but I don't recommend you using that since you might get banned on most platforms. But this is made in case that you wanted to add something of your own, like your own object or your own skirt or something like that over the model, then of course you can do that. Now let's get to accessories. The socks, they don't really color match the rest, but I expect you to most likely recolor them, and if you do that, then you have to do that manually. That's all for the changeable design options. Right now I will go and create a new design, and then I will click save to save the design. You should do the same when you create your own customization. Once you save it, the model will come back to its initial state. Let's click the plus button here. As a hotkey action, set unset expression, and as the expression, set the design you've made. Now choose the key combination to trigger the design. It is possible that you will have to click this combination every single time you open VTube Studio with this model. You can choose something more complex, but I just chose this YUO combo. Now when I click the combination, the design will appear. You can notice that still some parts of my design are not recolored, because we will have to recolor them using a custom recolor. For that, please go to model settings here and click on customize model and click this option. This time on the right you have a list of all the meshes the model has, which is a lot. For that reason, I think custom recolors are less intuitive and it can take a longer while than using sliders, but it also has its pros and it gives you a wider range of colors you can use. For now, let's recolor the eyes. So to recolor anything, you will just have to hover over that part with your mouse and click. That will update the list, and then find the name of the mesh. I understand that there's a lot of meshes in this model, so it can get confusing, but I made sure that all irises are named iris. It's always like iris 1, iris 7. So when you find out, you can click the eye icon, which will highlight the mesh. That way you can make sure that it's the mesh you want. And when you click the slider, then you can choose the color here. Also, please pay attention to this code. It's the code of the color you chose. If you click Ctrl A, it gets selected. Then if you click Ctrl C, it gets copied. You can click OK. And then if I want to use the same color for the other eye, I will click on the eye to update the list. I will make sure that this iris is the one I want. And when I activate the slider, I can Ctrl V or Ctrl A and Ctrl V the code that I want. This way you can recolor pretty much anything. Let's recolor the ahoge. And let's recolor the socks. I will not recolor the shoes now. There is a slider for it, but I didn't use it. And I think it's not important now, but of course you can do the same with the shoes. When you choose the mesh in this list, it's never the hue saturation one, okay? Because hue saturation are the meshes that help recolor everything else when you're using sliders. Well, technically you could use it, but I wouldn't do it. It's up to you. If you want to recolor anything using the custom recolor, please make sure that the sliders are turned off first. Right now I'm going to do a custom recolor for the skin and for the hair. So for now I will click OK. You can already use this model like this, if that's what you want. Then I will click expression editor. I will choose the design parameter I used before. And let's turn off the hair hue and hair saturation. And the same goes for the side hair. In case you wanna custom recolor the skin, then also make sure that it's like the lightest it can be at the start. Okay. Now I will click customize model again. And let's recolor the hair. Searching for the meshes can be a little awkward sometimes. Also, this part of the hair is called bridge. There are two of them. Just make sure that you recolor that as well. As I said before, this way you can make more complex color combinations for the hair. Now I will also show you how to customize the skin color in case you wanted the darker skin color so it doesn't have the awkward overlapping highlights. This process is quite time consuming, but I think if you recolor it once and you don't have to do that again. I think for the start it's better to start with the face color and just choose some color that you like. I will show you how to do like a darker natural skin tone, like this maybe. Right now it looks super awkward, but that's just the process. When it comes to nose shadow, I think it looks better with darker skin colors when you take the color a little more up here. I don't know, I think it looks better, but it's up to you, of course. Sometimes the meshes can be like hidden low in the list. I know that's freaking annoying, but there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, I think that's it, but of course if you had a different outfit you might have to recolor the belly or hips as well. And you can see that when you change the skin color this way, the color is nicely uniform and it doesn't have any highlights or weird white lines. Once you have the recolor done, always click OK and you can use the model as it is. If you want to change any of your custom recolors, just turn off the sliders. And if you want to get rid of the design completely, just click the key combination again. The last thing I want to talk about is how to set up expressions. At the start there is likely nothing in this list but the design that you've made. So when you click expression editor again, click on the create new hotkeys for all unused expressions. Now click OK. And now you can see that in the list there's like a card for every single expression the model has. The only thing you need to do now is to choose the key combination to trigger each expression. Right now I will just choose some random combinations, but you should choose something that you are unlikely to hit when you type your keyboard. Now when I hit the key combinations, you can see that the expression appears. It also works with every design you make. You can also use the custom recolor to customize the color of the controller. And if you also custom recolored your skin color, then you will likely have to change the color of these arms as well. That is all I will show you in this tutorial. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the comments, or you can send me a message to Etsy and I will make sure to respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and have fun with the model!